Coming to you live from TI Studios in Venice, California, this is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast with Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo.
This is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, coming live and direct with a very special guest. I can't even tell you how excited I am to have him here on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. One of the best personalities in all of sports history. NBA great, NBA champion. You know, I've come across a handful of athletes. This is the first guy I felt like I could really fuck with this guy. Because he's accessible, he's real, he's a champion. He's not on my level. I'm not saying I could fuck with him in that way in terms of, because I've admired your career for so long. I worked with him on ESPN. Met him at ESPN on The Jump and all the NBA shows. It is my pleasure to welcome to the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast the captain, El Capitan.
Yes, sir.
NBA champion, the man who said he makes love to pressure.
Consistently.
My man, Captain Jack, Steven Jackson.
What's up, my brother Mike? What it do, man?
Everything's good, my man. I can't tell you how excited I am to talk to you. Because, you know, we do it on TV, and, you know, there's time constraints. And, you know, I've just had so many questions for you. I've been a fan of yours for so long. I love your takes. You know, as great of a player as you were, are, still are, you know, you might be just as good as an analyst and as a TV personality. And I'm not saying you should stop playing, because I see you in the gym with the Get Better gang.
Yes, sir.
Motivating me while I'm sitting on my couch.
I'm walking your dog, cursing them other dogs out on the corner.
I'm walking my dog, and this guy's in the gym early in the morning. Yo, sometimes I see you post, like, you'll get off a plane and then you go right to the gym.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like a lot of times it'd be hard to get those damn workouts in L.A. And then when you stay at the Lux Hotel, they got the worst gym ever. You go in there and there's one treadmill and some towels. No dumbbells, no anything. So sometimes when I fly back, man, I got a gym that's right across the street. I go in there and I get it in for an hour regardless of what time I get back, because it's 24 hours.
Now, when is that for, like, to stay in shape, or is it to decompress? Is it to unwind from a flight? Because some of the hours, or is it just something, like, for you, is it like drinking coffee? Is it something for you that you naturally need to do? Because for me, working out at this point, like, when I'm in a flow and I'm in a good rhythm, like, I get to that where I need to do it. But it seems like with you, like, with these odd hours, like, people that, like, my wife is like that. She just has to work out. And I wish I had that thing where I had to do it. It's always been a little bit like, all right. I'm always trying to look for an excuse. Well, it's raining, the car didn't start.
You know, it's one of those things, Mike, shit. Once you get yourself there, then that's half the battle.
Right.
You know, and I've been working out almost 2 years now, like, every day. So, like, my body is programmed. I have to go.
Right.
Regardless what time it is, I have to go. And I want to stay in shape because, like, as you know, I still play.
Right.
You know, I'm still playing the Champions League, which is 5-on-5. That's all NBA players. And I also coming up as the Big Three. With the Ice Cube League.
Yep.
So I'm staying in shape for me and also to continue to play at a high level.
So this 3-on-3 team that's getting a lot of press, and I think a lot of people are excited about it. The fans are. A lot of NBA dudes seem to be hyped about it. What is your crew? How did it come about, and what do you know about the rules? Because I heard they're throwing different rules. So for people who don't know, there's a 3-on-3 league that Ice Cube, the actual Ice Cube, I think he invented it. He started it. He's the face of it. Yep. And dudes like Iverson, I've heard talking about being in it.
Yep.
Jax is in it. I mean, there's a lot of big names. Chauncey, a lot of, like, ex-NBA players, but not like, you know, Jerry West, like, young dudes. Like, it's going to be competitive. Like, I think at first, like, people won't know, like, how hard are we going? But I feel like if game's 11, when it's like 8-7, it's going to start tightening up. So what do you know about the details of the league?
Well, basically what I know, the league was brought to me by Chauncey Billups and Roger Mason. Roger Mason is actually on the board working for Ice Cube with the league. Roger Mason used to play in the league, and he worked for the Players Association. But Chauncey sent me a text and asked me about the Big Three. And I'm like, I heard about it, but he wanted me to be a captain. So me and Chauncey Billups we on the same team. And then I think sometime in March we're doing a draft where each team has 7 players, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And the only thing I know about the rules is they're putting a 4-point line. a 4-point shot in, which is going to be easy for me.
So the 4 points behind the 3-point.
Yeah, they asked me my opinion about it, and I actually said, Mike, it should be midway point between half court and the NBA 3-point line.
Right, yeah.
That's what the 4-point line should be. But me and Chauncey are the only ones on the team right now. It's a whole bunch of NBA players. It's supposed to be pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm ready to bust some ass.
And now, is there like, there's got to be, there's money awards, right?
Well, the thing is, the captains get paid. I think the captains get paid for being a part of it. But the great thing that I think Ice Cube done to make this league competitive is you get paid on where you place in the tournament.
Right.
So if you finish, let's say you finish first place, you get 45% total purse of the league, which is cool.
So do you expect dudes to play ball and to play, or like, do you expect it to be like competitive, or do you expect it to be like all-star game competitiveness? Because
I'm not drafting nobody on my team that's coming to be friends, Mike. You know how I play.
Okay.
I'm trying to win. If you coming around trying to be friends and just make some money and be on TV, I'm not drafting you. I'm drafting guys like me and Ron Artest that want to win all the time.
So is Ron able to play, or you have to be retired NBA?
Yeah, I mean, he have to be retired. Now, if he's retired before the league starts, you know I'm going after my boy.
Yo, listen, I'm not saying I could do much other than a few flagrants, but if you need a seventh man just to be there for an intimidation factor, Jax,
I know you got my back.
I'm your guy. Now, I'm not saying I could guard anybody. I'm not saying I can make some shots, but if you want someone to come in there and put that wood on somebody real quick, like a nice forearm, just let me know. I am available for that. I can do it.
I'm gonna need you, Mike, because I ain't gonna be able to use all my technical files because I'm gonna lay some out too.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just letting you know right now. I'm putting it out there for you, and I'm telling you because probably no one else is going to go after me in the draft. I don't think I'm going to be a highly coveted guy, but I'm going to throw my name in there. Yeah. I might even put it under an alias. But all right,
you got to show us a little footage. We got to throw some little like a 30-second clip on Instagram or something, or your highlights or something.
Well, I got some surveillance footage from about 2005.
Surveillance
in front of a Foot Locker at the Beverly Center that you might be interested in.
All right.
All right, so let me just throw this at you first. You know I'm a New York Knicks fan.
Right.
You know that's my team.
Right. I know that's hard to say right now, but yeah.
Every day there's drama. Based on what you know, because what we read in the press, what we read in the media, what we report on ESPN, I feel like there's always like a little bit deeper truth. What is going on in New York? And I don't know if you know Carmelo or not, but what do you think, and I know you can't read his mind, what do you think Carmelo Anthony, after all the craziness with the Phil this and the posse this and the articles, and because I'm a Carmelo fan, and obviously, listen, he hasn't lived up to the fans' expectations of being the Knicks, being that we haven't won the championship, but I feel like I've never seen a player so under siege from his actual team as a Knicks fan.
You know, Mike, it all started with Phil, man. Phil came, and that's when all the BS started, man. Phil came, and he hasn't lived up to the expectations of what everybody expected Phil to bring. They expected Phil to bring a championship-type attitude, but he didn't bring in championship-type players. So now you get to the point where the team is not living up to what you expected, Phil, and the pieces of the puzzle that you put together, Phil, are not coming together, Phil. You want to just blame Carmelo Anthony. That's not the answer. The blame is on Phil. All this started with Phil, just like Phil took the credit for the triangle. No, Phil, the triangle was ran long before you was a coach. The triangle was ran by every team in the NBA. When basketball was created, if you see when basketball first started being played, everybody played with one post on the block and two guys on the wing. The triangle has always been around. But once again, Phil tried to take credit for it. Everything that's wrong with New York is Phil Jackson, nothing else.
Are you serious? So wait, there's a few things you implied there. So wait, do you think that Phil as a coach is overrated? Or do you feel like the expectations were too high? Because he started with trash. And and in defense of Phil, before he got there was a mess. And, we had the Isaiah regime, and we had, the Dan Antonio regime and the Mike. I mean, there's been like a buildup of garbage. It's been like the pile's been high. So in his defense, when he got there, we were at the bottom. Now,
no question.
His first season, winning I think 16 or 17 games, I think we went even lower to the pile. But how could it all be Phil if he only could work with so much? You know what I mean? How could you blame just him if there's like you said it first. The players have to be able to play, right?
Right, but okay, just say they give me and you a puzzle. If me and you can't put that puzzle together, then that's on me and you. That's on us. Phil put that team together. He brought in Lee and gave Joakim Noah all that money. Brandon Jennings, which is a great backup. Derrick Rose is great. The Derrick Rose move was awesome.
Right.
But this is not the total team you put together to win. I think Phil didn't put that team together with the attitude to win. He put that team together with creating a different look, because that couldn't be the team you thought about winning. And like I said, Phil's a great coach, but you got to remember, he had Kobe. He had Jordan. He had Scottie Pippen. He had Shaq. I give him his credit, but a lot of times he gets more credit than I think he deserves, and the players that played for him don't get as much credit.
I got you. When you're an NBA player, when you're playing in the league like Carmelo's right now, he's still one of the most prominent players in the league. Obviously, playing in New York, the microscope is it's on hot every single minute. Is he aware fully of, you were offered yesterday? Now, who knows if this stuff is true? Yesterday, they said he was offered to Cleveland, head up for Kevin Love, and that was turned down. So it makes it look like, Cleveland doesn't even want you for Kevin. Like, you're not worth Kevin Love straight up. Like, how aware is a player of that, and how much of it is crap, and how much it is realistic, and how much is like, the media hyping it up and sort of, alternate facts, which is the big term these days.
The sad part is, Mike, a lot of these NBA players are suckers, and they fake. Okay, so a lot of them will sit around and say, I don't pay attention to trade rumors. I don't pay attention to this. Yes, you do. If your name comes up when you getting traded to another team, especially if you don't want to go to that team, of course you're paying attention. Now, if I was Melo, I would love it. Look, I've been in New York all this time. I'm in the media every day. I'm on one of the biggest teams in the NBA. I would embrace all this. But at the end of the day, Melo, it's about winning. You haven't won. So when you don't win, this is what happens. You get traded. Your name comes up in trade talk. And hey, let's face it. They trying to make it seem like him and Phil are peaches and cream right now. It's impossible when the media person comes in the locker room and tells you a whole story they had with Phil behind your back. Things could not be comfortable. It's a lot of teams that want Melo. You can't be mad if one team don't want you.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you put yourself in this position by not winning.
How much of it is Carmelo's, fault? Because to me, this is I don't know Carmelo. I've met him, whatever. I don't know him. But I feel like Carmelo, he has the looks. He wanted Syracuse. He has the smile. He has the swag. And he has the game. But I think at the end of the day, my instinct about Carmelo Anthony as a person, he's a low-key dude. I don't feel like he wants all the press. I don't feel like he's actually genuinely comfortable with the press and the accolades. I feel like he has the look for it. Right. He has the star quality. He wanted Syracuse. But I feel like he just doesn't have that. Like LeBron is obviously comfortable with the press. D-Wade is comfortable with the press. You're comfortable with the press. Sometimes, even one of my biggest surprises as a Knicks fan, like when Sprewell came to the Knicks, he was surprisingly, shockingly comfortable with the press. But for me, Melo never seemed comfortable with all the attention. How much of it is the fact that they haven't lost? Like, how much can we actually expect from Carmelo? Like, they ain't going to win this year. Like, we'll be lucky at this point if we make the playoffs. Like, what can you actually expect of this guy? Are the expectations too LeBron-ish?
Right, and that's what it is. You see, They got the expectations of Carmelo up there with LeBron. How they talk about they all friends, Carmelo, D-Wade, Chris Paul. So they are trying to put them all in the same category. LeBron is on another level. LeBron is a guy that you can start a team with and get championships, as you see. I've always been the Melo fan, but I never expected a Melo to bring a team to a championship by himself without another star. I've never expected that. I've expected Melo to be a great scorer. I've always expected Melo to play hard. But you're right. I don't think he's one of those guys that want to be in the media like LeBron and them. I don't think he's one of those guys that want to sit up there and talk questions and answer all kind of stuff and deal with that type of stuff. You're exactly right, Mike. He's a low-key guy. He want to play basketball, make his money, and go home and spend his time with his beautiful wife, Lala, and his kids. I guarantee you, Melo's not the guy for that shit. He don't want to sit around and do media all day. He want to be low-key.
You could tell. It's just like, Iverson. Now, nobody was a bigger star than Iverson.
Right.
He had all the hoopla. He had the game to match it up. He had the reputation. He had the swag. He had everything around him. But at the end of the day, again, I don't know AI personally. I've met him, but the thing that I got when I met Iverson, this is a low-key dude. This isn't a big talking dude. This is a low-key dude. He had the looks. He had the braids. He had the jewelry. People were, like, fascinated with him like he was a foreign object.
He changed the game.
And he bust people's ass. But at the end of the day, like, I didn't feel like he was ever, obviously there's the practice this and his, sort of faux pas with the press. But even when
he didn't want to do that.
He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to talk after the wins. He didn't want to talk after the losses. Like, he just seemed like he wanted to come in there, play ball, do his thing, and that's it. And the media, because he's AI and he was like this phenomenon, they put him in the light. And I don't think some people just are not comfortable doing that. Some people don't want to, answer stupid questions all the time.
They don't. They want to play basketball, make their money, and go home. But at the end of the day, Mike, it comes with the game.
Right.
Things
could be worse.
To whom much is given, much is required. If you're a big-time player like that, you got to be ready to deal with the media. You know what I mean? And the ones that try to shy away from it, it's a million people want to be in your fucking shoes. Like, well, I would love to be. There's a million people that want to be interviewed and talked about a basketball game. So that'll never be looked at in the right way. That's kind of looked at as ungrateful. That's why I got such a great relationship with media personalities and media people, because I didn't mind talking to them. You don't. These people are doing their job. Obviously, you play a bad game, that's not their fault. They still got to ask you questions about it. Now you can answer it any way you want to. You can tell them go fuck themselves if you want, but at the same time, you got to answer the questions.
Did it take you a little while to come into that, or were you always comfortable talking to the press?
I was always comfortable, because at the end of the day, I'm going to say what I feel from the jump.
Right.
Whether I had a good game, whether I had a bad game, score 50, score 5, won or lost, I'm going to say what I feel. I'm not going to sit there and, let me think what I should say. No, first thing I think of, if such and such said they had a great game, he's fucking sorry. I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? So some guys sit there and be like, yeah, he had a great game. Just try to be political. That's never been me, and I think that's why a lot of people respect and didn't mind asking me questions, because they know I was going to give them the way I really feel. I was going to give them a hot take every time.
All right. Now, off camera, I've talked to you a few times, and when we bring up LeBron, you said it a couple of times to me, and I'm going to let you, before I start breaking his balls, I'm going to let you tell some of the things that you have said to me that I respect about LeBron, the stuff that he does for players, careers, the players' rights.
Right.
Before I start breaking his balls about him crying and complaining to the press, because I don't understand that either.
He do cry a lot.
But before we start that, just because I want to keep it fair, because I don't want to look like a blatant LeBron hater, what do you know about what LeBron has done for the players' rights, the players' insurance, and bettering just the climate for NBA players today and hopefully going forward?
Well, the one thing he has done, as you see, from the sorriest person in the league, which is Chandler Parsons to me, all the way up to LeBron James, everybody's making a lot of money, right? Everybody's making a lot of money, $30 million or more. Even the sorriest guys that don't get on the bench, John Lure, those type of guys, making crazy money, right? Okay, so that's because of LeBron.
How
the
so?
New TV deal, everything that's going on that's beneficial for players has everything to do with LeBron and Chris Paul and them taking over the Player Association, okay? Has a lot to do with it. LeBron, a lot of players come along, and a lot of players come with their posses, like as Phil Jackson would say.
Right.
We know the real meaning of posse. Yeah, you can call me and my people a posse because we move like it.
Right,
okay?
right.
I'm cool with it.
Right.
LeBron was offended by it. I'm cool with it, but I knew what he meant.
Right.
But his posse is Maverick Carter and Rich Poe. Well, what LeBron done for them, almost every NBA player that's came through the NBA tried to bring their friends along and put them in position to make money without having to hang around them, but do it the right way. Okay, every player from past to present salutes LeBron on the way he was able to put his two friends in position and do it the right way. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars in the short time they've been together. Rich Poe is one of the biggest NBA agents now. Mav, they have a big media company. They're doing a lot of things now that, like I said, a lot of players try to put their friends in position to do and never was able to do. Either the NBA player wasn't in his right mind or his posse wasn't in their right mind.
Right.
They wanted to leech off him and be around and just hang around and smoke weed all day and date chicks.
Right.
Well, LeBron did it a different way. His guys went to college, got degrees, and doing it the right way and making a great life for themselves. So that's why a lot of people respect LeBron, because he didn't come in just thinking about him. He put his friends in position, but you know, that's the main thing I salute about him is the way he was able to take care of his family and put him in position.
I like that. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's love. Now comes the fans' hate. Now, let me ask you this question. I shouldn't say let me ask this question. I'm going to throw this question out.
Yeah.
Do the NBA players – like, I'm a crazy fan. Like, I can't stand LeBron. I couldn't stand – as soon as he went to Miami –
I couldn't stand him either when I played. When I was in the NBA, I couldn't stand nobody either. So I'm with you, Mike.
So you understand it, but you have that yo, if you're either with me or you ain't with me. And if you ain't with me, that's it. That's
it. Mike, I used to hate games when I'm coming in the game and I'm at the free throw line of the game about to start and somebody come shake my hand on the other team that I never met in my life, and he say something like, What's up, Jack? How you doing? How your family? Say, look, bro, you don't know me. You don't know my family. Stop trying to soften this blow. I'm finna bust your ass regardless. Do not try to ask me how my family doing to try to soften this ass whipping. I used to hate that.
Do you feel like the NBA, because I feel like the NBA has changed because so many of these guys have grown up with each other. Right. And, like, if me and you play ball since we're 10, 11, AAU this, we're going to Vegas when we're 13, we're bonding, we're getting milkshakes, right. We're getting treated, we're getting sneakers and all that. By the time we get in the league, no matter how much we're competing, there's never going to be that thing. Like, Magic Johnson met Larry Bird on a basketball court. Right. They didn't meet beforehand. They weren't hanging out. Right. You know, Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, I'm going even back further, same thing. They went out there. They weren't hanging out. They weren't friends. I know things have changed, but I feel like all this kissing and hugging and handshake.
I hate it.
That's crazy, right?
Me and Al Harrington was best friends. We barely shook hands before games. We're best friends, and we went at it. I mean, I tried to dunk on him. I tried to embarrass him just like I would embarrass anybody else. But that's how we was raised. You know, this is how we eat. You know, I'm not coming on this court to make friends or be friends. I could care less how your family doing or how you really feeling. I hope you feeling like shit, honestly, so I can have a better game against you. I took the game real serious. I took it, and then that's why a lot of people wanted me on their team. That's why Tim Duncan called me the ultimate teammate, because I only cared about winning and my teammates. If you're not on my team, then I'm against you. Period.
And you were able to separate church and state. So, like, even if you're cool with somebody off the court, when you're playing, it's done.
Yeah. Especially because I'm the type to initiate the bullshit.
Right.
So, you know, and I talk shit, and I'm ready to fight to win a game at all times. And if you're not ready to fight, and I see you after the game, and you kind of approaching me like you want to be a friend, and it was just leave it basketball, then it's cool. But I'm already on the edge. So, you know, if whatever mood you in, I'm in it already. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So back to LeBron. I got to bring it all. Everything's going to come back to LeBron. You'll notice that we could be talking about the weather somehow or another. Cool. I'm blaming LeBron. When he speaks out to the press saying, "Yo, the team isn't doing this, and we don't have a backup point guard," and you know his little hissy fit that he threw the other day, which what he does. And listen, if anybody has a right to complain. And anybody has, you know, we know what he does. Like, he puts together good guys. He knows what his team needs. But is this strategic? Is it like politics when he says that? Instead of going to the GM, instead of going to the coach, instead of going to the owner, is there a reason why he goes to the press to do that? Because all that does is get me hyped up. And I'm like, this is the time of year where I got because I have to pace myself for my LeBron hate.
You know it's coming.
Yeah, I got to start like late January, February, and then I could ride it all through June. And like now he's just like playing into my hands here. So when he's doing that, is that for effect? Is that just because he's in a bad mood, or is that calculated?
All his steps are calculated. And I think any other player say they need this on their team, they're going to get fined by the team or some type of punishment. The only reason he's doing that because they letting him get away with it, okay? Just like he complained about Draymond last year. They didn't really pay attention to it till he complained about it.
He got suspended.
And you know what, Mike? LeBron understands when he speaks, everybody listens. Okay, let's be real. He understands that. And right now, they going through a time that he's never seen before. They getting their ass bust by everybody, and it's uncomfortable. Okay, it's the same team they had the championship. They won a championship with. Now they're not winning. Now he want to start making excuses. I hate the fact that he's whining because everybody already look at him as a big old baby anyway. And the fact now that a couple guys are hurt, now he want to start whining because he need more players. Say, look. If you ain't, I don't want to hear nothing about you whining about players when you have Kyrie, when you have Kevin Love, and I'm sitting at home, okay?
Right.
I don't want to hear nothing about no players when I'm sitting at home ready to get a call, okay?
Right.
So I don't want to hear shit about you whining, LeBron. You're the best player in the world. You have Kyrie. You are the defending champions. Deal with it. Stop trying to get more guys in. But you know what, Mike? I got to say this too. For the world to know, this is why LeBron is whining. Last time they played in Golden State, I was at that game. Golden State had 80 points at halftime. Okay, LeBron's face was so shook, he realized this is a different team we playing against. This is a different monster. What we have right now, we cannot compete with these guys for no championship. And he saw that last game. Now he's shook. He don't know what to do.
You got that feeling being at that game up there in Golden State?
I seen it from the beginning of the game. Golden State showed that they're a different team with Kevin Durant.
Right.
And the way he's playing defense right now,
right.
Kevin Durant's never played defense like this. And I can be honest, he probably has more dunks now than he's had last 2 seasons. So he's Draymond made him pick up his defense, and the caliber of players he's playing with is making him take his offense to another level.
So when you say he has more dunks, is that because the baskets are coming easier?
The baskets are coming easier. He don't have to take as many jump shots because you got to look at their lineup. He's the biggest guy on the court.
Right.
He's the biggest guy in their lineup, so he's getting a lot of layups and a lot of easy shots that he can finish, and he don't have a center in there to finish shots and dunk. That's mostly his shots now.
Got you. So you mentioned about, like, you're there. Are you ready to play NBA basketball now?
Goddamn right.
Do you think you'll ever get a shot to get back into the league? And why do you think it's so frustrating? I feel like one of the things is, like, I feel like once you sort of retire or sort of take yourself out of the equation, that's a thing. And also because I think you're real. And then also I think it's because people get confused. Like, wait, Stacks is on ESPN. Stacks is on the I AM Rapaport Stereo podcast. You know, and they sort of like, does he really want to do that or is he just saying it? But like in your heart of heart, like you still have a desire to play. And do you feel like you could contribute to a team? Because I feel like a team like the Knicks, I said this last year.
Yeah.
Bring in Steven Jackson. You know, like, let's get a character guy because I feel like certain teams are missing character guys. So talk to me about where you're at with playing in the NBA right now. And why don't you go over there with your boy Steph Marbury to China? Yeah. Does that mean enough to you to go over there?
Yeah, I love the game. I started off overseas, at 18, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Australia. I started off overseas. So I said once I go to the NBA, I'm never going back. I definitely got 2 good years left in me to play this game. I can play at a high level. Obviously, I'm not going to come out and get 25, 30 points, but I can come in and still average 15 points and be a solid defender and open shots, knock down big shots. Like I said, I've made love to pressure. I've always considered myself a jack of all trades. So I don't know why in the hell the NBA would think just because I'm not playing and I want to get back in that I'm going to sit at home and wait on them. No, I'm going to get with Mike. I'm going to do my show with Mike. I'm going to do my shit with ESPN. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But at the same time, I definitely can play the game. I still play the game at a high level. That's why I'm playing in the Big Three in the Champions League, because I still can play the game. Like I said, I got 2 good years left, and that's why I work out, Mike. If I ever get that call, obviously – I didn't leave on my own terms, with the situation with San Antonio when Pop asked me to admit other players was better than me for the team's personal gain. I wouldn't do it, and I was released right for the playoffs. And we all know when you get released right before the playoffs, you can't side with another team. That looks bad as hell. It looks like you're a cancer to the team, and that wasn't the situation. It would have been a lighter situation if Pop would have came out and said that it wasn't because I was being a cancer and told the true story. But I had to. But at the end of the day, I got pushed out. So I never had any serious injuries, Mike. No surgeries, nothing. My whole career I've been healthy. So, like I said, I still play at a high level now. If I get the opportunity to go back in, I'm definitely ready to go. If not, then I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm still blessed.
I never really could figure out because I was like, yo, why they? It looked as from the fans' point of view, Steven Jackson was a problem. Like, what was the real situation? And you seem to still based on everything I know about you, which isn't everything, and it's not a lot. I've never heard you say a bad word about San Antonio. Only good things, and Poppovich, it's only praise. Like, do you want to explain that whole little situation?
I would never say anything bad about Pop because of the opportunities he gave me. Pop is the greatest coach ever to me. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my favorite coaches. And I played with all Hall of Fame coaches, Larry Brown, Don Nelson, Rick Carlisle. So, but Pop is a great guy. I would never say anything bad about San Antonio because I won a championship there. I got a chance to play with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. I got a chance to win a championship. So I would say nothing bad, but that situation, that's bad because he handled it bad. Mm-hmm. It was a situation after practice where I had a great practice. I was, I'm hitting game winners. I'm cursing people out because I'm busting ass. So that's how I play. Right. That's different in San Antonio, but they know that's how I play. Right. So, after practice, I'm in the training room taking my stuff off, and Pop calls me in the film room, and he's like, Jack, let me show you some of some footage of you playing this year. The last couple of games, and I wasn't playing that well. Right. And I admitted that, but I'm a rhythm player. You don't play me for 10 games, then throw me in 4 minutes, one game. I can't play like that. I can't get a rhythm like that. And that messes with you mentally. Right. So he picked 3 of the worst possessions I've had probably in my career to show me, right? So I'm like, cool, okay, I'll take that. He was like, well, Jack, you're not playing too well right now. I'm like, Papa, you ain't really playing me to see how well I can play. You know what I can do. He was like, yeah, Jack, I need you to do something for the team. I need you to admit that Ginobili and Danny Green are better than you because we're going into the playoffs and they're not playing well. I need you to help me boost their confidence because they feel like it's a competition. Okay, so it feels like a competition, Mike, because I'm not playing. You playing these guys before me, but when practice starts, it shows that I'm 10 times better than them. No, he's saying admit. Admit to who? Go on Twitter? So no, this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to bring the whole team in the film room. And he wanted me to stand up in front of the film room and be like, okay, this is exactly what he wanted me to say. Okay, yeah, guys, we get ready to go to the ready to start the playoffs. Danny and Ginobili, I know y'all not playing well, but y'all so much better than me, and we need y'all. We need y'all for the playoffs. Fuck no, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't say Michael Jordan was better than me. You got to show me. Mm-hmm. You got to prove it to me. And I know by how I was busting their ass in practice that wasn't comfortable with him, knowing that he wanted to play his guys. Mm-hmm. And after that conversation, I say, Pop, you know damn well I'm not finna say that to you, to nobody on this team. And he was like, well, Jack, I guess we're gonna have to part ways and make another move and bring somebody else in. So I'm like, but this is the thing, though, Mike. This was crazy, and the whole world know how smart Pop is. Pop knew my reaction, what my reaction was going to be before he even asked the question because they had Tracy McGrady already on the plane on the way in. So regardless if I would have said it or not, he was willing to make – he was already ready to make another move, you see. But I just hate the way it ended because it was towards the end of my career, mm-hmm. and it made me look real bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Pop know – every time he threw me in the playoffs, like the year before that, he threw me in the playoffs at 6 threes mm-hmm. in the Western Conference Finals, and I really didn't play that much. He just used me for defense. So the way he handled it after all I'd done for that organization and for that team, it was just sour because he knew I wasn't going to say that to him or nobody else. Right. Wow, I didn't know that story. That's a crazy story. And I mean, I guess that's part of the – that's the politics of professional sports, which is at the end of the day is just a business. Every business, whether you're working at Starbucks, Baskin Robbins, a bus driver, there's always some sort of politics, and there's higher ups and movements and all that stuff. That's crazy. They owe me $10 million, so I was quick to say fuck y'all after that. Right, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. The I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast is sponsored by Casper Mattress, an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. You could try a Casper mattress for 100 nights risk-free in your home. If you do not love it, they will pick it up and refund you everything. With over 20,000 reviews online and an average of 4.8 stars, Casper is quickly becoming the internet's most popular mattress. They have sheets. They have pillows. They even have doggy beds.
Go to Casper.com. Save $50 towards any mattress purchase by visiting www.casper.com/Rapaport. Use the promo code Rapaport. Try a Casper mattress, 100 nights risk-free in your home. If you don't love it, they will pick it up and refund you everything. Go to www.casper.com/Rapaport.
Introducing Play.it, a podcast network like no other. Home to top sports on-demand programming, including CBS sports experts and digital exclusives from dynamic personalities.
Hey, join me, Taz.
Holy Magic Man Malinaji, two-time world champion.
Hey, it's Boomer and Carton.
Jim Rome.
Doug Gottlieb Show rolls on here.
Let's pound the pavement and get some news.
Let's hand out some fantasy football advice.
Play.it is delivering storytelling at its best.
Giving you all the hot topics every week.
Hear what you've been missing at Play.it.
How do you feel about this? Because to me, I think it's a joke at this point, and I think they need to figure it out, because all-star games, to me, are a joke.
Right.
In terms of the way they're played, the way at this point, the way they're voted for, I feel like, there's no stakes. Sometimes you'll get guys playing the last 3 or 4 minutes if there's a way to win. But this year, there's been so much talk about the Jajas getting into the league, getting into the game, terrible. And Westbrook not getting into it. And I think that the social media, the fact that you could vote on social media, the average fan and the unaverage fan is getting involved with the voting. And obviously it's for the fans, right. But I feel like at this point that the players are being cheated. Does it matter? If you're a player like Russell Westbrook, are you pissed that you're not starting? How much does it mean, and what do you think can change it? And explain like all-star game mentality from a player's point of view.
Well, if you see the last couple of years when Russell Westbrook is in the All-Star game, they really don't want Russ in the All-Star game. Because Russ is going for 50. He's playing the All-Star game just like he played real game.
He only knows one way.
He only knows one speed, and that's 110. I don't think Russ is upset. I think in the back of his mind, he's like, I know I should be starting. But I think the biggest thing with Russ, he more worried about getting his team to the playoffs without KD. Mm-hmm. Damn the All-Star. I don't think that's big to Russ right now. Mm-hmm. Winning MVP without KD will be big. Mm-hmm. Getting his team to the playoffs and having success in the playoffs without KD, I think that'll be big. But I'm all for the fans voting, having some type of input. But hold on, but not that much where Zaza Pachulia has a chance to make the All-Star game.
Right.
No fucking way, Mike. I'm sorry. No way. Zaza should never make the All-Star game, even if it was 40 players on each team.
Right.
He still should make it.
Right. Do you think they're going to change it? I think maybe at this point it should be like half and half. Maybe the fans shouldn't vote in the starters. Maybe the players, coaches in the league. I don't know what the solution is. But for me, like going to so many All-Star games and watching so many All-Star games as a kid, it's gotten like even like the dunk contest last year, like Zach and the other dude, they put it on. But I feel like, like Dominique and Jordan, that was like Ali Frazier. Like right. I feel like right. The whole All-Star weekend, the stakes have gotten so much lower, and it's too cutesy. And I get it. You want to chill. You've been playing.
You want to make money off of it. But I disagree. I mean, I agree with you, right? Because it's not how it used to be. People used to go to All-Star weekend and see the best players compete at a high level from each conference. I think they should switch it up where the coaches and the media should have an input on the all-star players, and the fans should have the input on who's in the dunk contest, who's in the three-point contest, who's in the skills contest, and even the fans can pick where the all-star game is. They should be able to have the input and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But guys who actually play the game, it should be the coaches who watch these guys every night and the media people who look at these stats every night. They should decide who are the top 10 best players in the league. Top 20.
I agree. All right. Yo, Miles, we got calls? All right. You ready?
I'm excited about taking calls, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do it. Yo, Heath, this is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. You're on here with Michael Rapaport and El Capitan, Steven Jackson. What's the deal?
What's up, Heath?
Oh, man. What's up, guys? What's up, Steven? Just a question. Have y'all seen this Instagram post that Rajon Rondo just put up?
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw it.
The whole team under the bus, man.
Yeah, I just saw it.
What is it? I didn't see it.
It's a post. You know, Jimmy Butler came on the news on his interview yesterday saying that the team don't care when they lose. Da-da-da-da. We need to care more about winning and more passion. Da-da-da-da. And Wade said something similar to it. Rondo posted on his Instagram not too long ago saying when he was in Boston, his vets wouldn't throw the young guys under the bus. When we lost, we all lost. When we lost games, you could hear a pin drop. The vets would pick us up. We would all be one. We wouldn't bash our young guys. Da-da-da-da. And that's what Rondo had to say. Now, me personally, Heath, I could get it from both ways because as a vet, you have to be kind of somewhat lenient to the younger guys because this is their first time going around. So a lot of them don't know how to win. You know, a lot of them come from shitty college programs. They don't know how to win. They was just the best player on their team, so they don't know how to win, right? So
yeah, I hear you, man.
I can understand
Butler,
that.
Man, that dude plays so hard. I can't.
But don't you think like Ron? I didn't see the post, but Rondo doing that is the same thing. He's throwing them under the bus. And what is your opinion of Rondo? Like my opinion is, at this point, I feel like, yo, you've been in the league I don't know how many years. You're not a kid anymore. I get it when dudes are 21, 22, 23, and you got attitudes. And half of the reason why you're in the league, other than your talent, your hard work, and everything else, is that attitude. You know, that made him who he is. But at this point, at a certain point, it's like, every place he goes to, there's a problem. Like literally every single, whether they're winning or losing. Obviously, when you're winning, you could cover it up like Boston, but like Sacramento, you knew that wasn't going to work. And then
Mike,
I thought,
Mike, you know, since he got taken out the lineup, so Rondo, obviously you're not playing well, so you getting taken out the lineup. So obviously you are a problem because, like you said, each team he's been on has been a cancer, and you get taken out of lineup where you definitely needed on that team. They had to go trade and get Michael Carter-Williams to come and play point guard. So Rondo, I understand what he's saying, but you're not helping the team at all by being a cancer and by not being in the game. That's not helping the team either. I understand totally what Jimmy and D Wade mean. Listen, the team is on our shoulders. We're carrying the buck of the load every night. We need everybody to care and play just as hard as we are every night. And 80% of the league, to me, Mike, all they care about is making money, and 80% of the league don't care about winning. So you can't just single your team out. You know what I mean? I understand these guys on your team. You need to single out the whole NBA because there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers in the NBA that's making money and don't care about winning games.
Now, when you played, were you able to tell which players really cared and which players didn't care? And how would you is it just a feeling you get, the way they practice, the way they warm up? Like, how could you read a player that's on your team and be like, yo, what are you doing?
Well, I can tell by how guys practice, and I can tell by how guys interact with other teams when we play them. Like when you got guys like like when I played on Golden State and Indiana Pacers, we wasn't talking to the other team. We wasn't hanging out with them before the games. We wasn't going out to eat with them. We was always together. So it's us against the world, you know, and like a lot of guys, you know, when you see guys talking to guys that they know they finna play against the whole game, you know, some type of way that they really playing buddy ball. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do that. We didn't do that at all. We coming to compete. We coming to win games, and you can see it in our faces. You know, Mike, you know when you're not in the mood and somebody walk up to you, you know how to hold that face where don't bother me. Right. That was that stare face. Right. We had that stare face before every game. I remember when I played against the Rockets, and I told Chandler Parsons, he said something slick, and I told him, I said, bruh, I would stop the game right now and bust you in your mouth. And I was after him for like the next 10 minutes of the game, right? James Harden should remember this. Was it James Harden? No, I think it was somebody else on their team. He leaned over to his teammate. He was like, "Is he serious?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I walked in between. I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm serious." From the rest of the game, I was getting layups the rest of the game. I lost total respect for Chandler Parsons after that. It's a whole bunch of guys like that don't care, that's not willing to go the extra mile, that just give you what you want as long as they're making them checks.
So when you let him know what it was, he was spooked.
He quit.
That was it.
He quit. He didn't even want to play no more.
He thought you were just playing a regular basketball game. He could talk slick.
Right, and he went by the referees. I cursed the referees out. I let him know that I was dead-ass serious. And then this is another thing. You can't play for the Rockets and beef with me. You got to live in that city. I'm from that area. So that's a no-win situation for you.
Right. I hear you. All right. What's the next call? Who we got? Yo, Ace, this is the I AM Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm in here with the Captain El Capitan, Steven Jackson.
Capitan.
That's Captain Jax right there.
What's up, Ace?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good?
Not much. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. Hey, real quick, this is a serious question. Did shitting on a group of people from Boston play any part in you accepting a role in New Edition?
Ha! You know what?
Real question.
You know what? That's a valid question. Not at all. I didn't even think about that till you brought it up. You know, doing the New Edition movie. Listen, when I was a kid, man, I don't know how old you are, Ace, but when I was a kid, New Edition was like, it was like a godsend.
My older sisters, I grew up on that shit.
Yeah, man. So for me, like, you know, we wanted to learn the songs. It was like totally new. They were from Boston. They had flavor, but it wasn't really New York flavor. They were singing, so it was like derivative of the Jackson 5, which we needed at that time. And they were the first ones to rhyme on a song. New Edition, to me, in my head, was like it made Boston like a place. It was like, what is this place? Because they looked like they were from New York, but it was obviously something different. And they were fly. And you know, I'm glad people are loving the movie. And, you know, the ratings have been good, and I'm happy for BET. You got any questions specifically from a man, Captain?
Keep doing your thing.
All right, yo, I appreciate the call,
appreciate
Ace.
the love.
Yo, Steven, let me ask you a question. If you had to pick, not including yourself, you're the sixth man.
Right.
Out of all the teammates you play with, and there's like literally got to be over 100 with the different teams and the roster changes.
Right.
As an NBA player, your teammates, if you had to say, you're going to be the sixth man, and you were going to say, these are my 5 guys I'm going to take on the world with.
Right.
You could have a 3-guard rotation, 2 big men, whatever you want. You're the 6th man. If you were to go, this is the best team of teammates I played with, who would be that starting 5?
Well, my center and power forward would be from the Spurs, Tim Duncan and David Robinson, of course.
How good were those 2 guys when you were with them?
Oh, man. The teams couldn't get a shot off. You know, all we had to do, it was great for me because I'm a defender that likes to put pressure on guards and get up and guard them. Every time I got beat, I had Tim and Dave back there. I mean, that was a luxury. No team had 2 big guys like that to protect the rim. I mean, that was a blessing. That what made me a good defender. But them 2 at the 4 and 5, my point guard would be Baron Davis. Baron Davis would be my point guard. Obviously, me being the 6th man, I would have Reggie Miller as my shooting guard.
Jesus.
And I have Ron Artest as my small forward, and I would come off the bench.
Dang, that's a crew right there. Yo, when Ron was in Indiana, you know, I remember, I can't remember what year it was. It might have been, I can't remember what season it was, but he had made the All-Star game. Carlisle was the coach. Mm-hmm. And I remember, you know, All-Star game, you know this better than I do. But I was just, you know, I'm a fan at these things, but you could tell some dudes are just like there to play. Some dudes are there chilling. Some dudes are coming into the practice. You know, they had little funny smells on them.
Right.
I remember watching Rick Carlisle and Ron Artest work out for about an hour and a half before the All-Star practice. It was just the 2 of them, full sweat. This is on Saturday on your quote unquote weekend off. Why was Ron Artest so good during his period of just, you know, I mean, what made him so special?
Well, see, it's funny you say that because one thing a lot of people don't know is me and Ron, we both was close to leading the league in minutes when we played. Ron used to play 38 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game, and go get on the treadmill for 30 minutes after every game.
Are you serious? 30
minutes after. I'm talking about fresh off the game. He go right in there with his uniform and run another 30 minutes because, you know, a lot of times guys that don't play, they have to do extra cardio. So they do it. Sometimes they do it after games because they don't know if they're going to play or not. So after games, when those guys that don't play go and do cardio, Ron's right in there with them doing the same drills they do, like as if he didn't even play. This guy work ethic was one of a kind.
Wow. That's impressive. So dudes that don't get into the rotation a lot, is it, you say, do they have to do it for themselves, or is it part of like being a professional basketball player?
I mean, you know, most guys should want to do it for themselves, but that's not the case. You don't play a certain amount of minutes a game. You got to do a certain amount of cardio before or after the game to stay in shape. So if you do get an opportunity, you're not in too bad a shape.
Oh wow, that's
That's why I made sure I wasn't hurt, and I'm always playing because I don't want to do that bullshit cardio running in one place for 30 minutes. Nah, I'd rather get my cardio in and playing.
How much fun was it when you were playing with the Warriors, that team? And I was there in Golden State, in Oakland, the deciding game when you dismantled the Dirk Nowitzki MVP season. I can't remember what year. What year was that?
07.
I was at that game. I can't remember. No, B. Diddy. Barron hooked me up. I was courtside, and I was courtside on the Dallas Mavericks bench. How much fun was that team, that Golden State team? Like, how much fun was that entire ride?
Well, it was fun for me because I had been through a lot that year. I got traded to Golden State because, I had to. I don't know if I ever told you about the strip club incident when I had to shoot up the strip club and got hit by a car.
We're gonna get into that another time.
We're gonna get to that. Okay, yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I know,
I never
right?
even heard of that.
Yeah, that's why I got traded. So I was already on probation, right, for the brawl in Detroit.
Right.
So the season was getting ready to start, and some guys ended up chasing Jamal, and I ended up shooting at a strip club. That's a whole other incident.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's why I got traded to Golden State.
Jamal who? Tinsley?
Jamal Tinsley.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, Jamal Tinsley. Yeah. So that's why I got traded to Golden State. But the good thing about it was I was so happy when we got there because when we first got there, we wasn't winning.
Right.
In some type of way, we kept playing and the city got behind us. The whole Bay Area got behind us. I mean, the Bay Area was crazy. I go to the Bay now, and even though they won the championship, a lot of people tell us the Bay still hasn't been the same since y'all left. Now, we started the fast ball, the long threes. We started all that. And beating Dallas was good for two reasons. One reason was, like I said, I had been through a lot that year.
Right. And
to have 33 points in the game 6 deciding to beat the number 1 seed was great for me. I felt like, okay, I got all that off me. I can show people. They say a lot about me, but they never say I can play this game. Mm-hmm. And I showed them that. And to win for Don Nelson, the way he left Dallas and dealing with Mark Cuban was sour. They were really getting into it, and we wanted to win that game for him. I knew I could punk Dirk. I knew I had his number. I had his number from when I played with San Antonio.
Now, how so? Like, when I look at you, I'm like, obviously Steven Jackson is not that dude that you want to fuck with. And you're a great player because there's a lot of dudes that are ass kickers. There's a lot of tough guys, but there's not a lot of guys that are tough guys that are actually NBA players.
Right.
And then there's guys that are sort of like just, I don't know who they are, but you get a sense like certain dudes are just incredible players, but they're nerds. And then Dirk, obviously, he's foreign, but he's part of the league. Like, when you say punk him, like, how do you mean? Like you making him nervous? Are you making him uncomfortable on the court? Is he feel like, Stacks might smack the shit out of him? Is it a little bit of both? Is it mind games? How do you get into his head? And he's obviously so great. You're not the first person to talk shit to him.
Right. A good thing about Dirk is I had respect for Dirk, so he knew it was to the point where I was telling him, Dirk, I'll kick your ass. Like, I never had that back and forth with him.
Right.
But he knew I wasn't finna let him touch the ball. He likes to go left. I sent him right every time. He can't go right. He can't go right at all. To this day, if you watch the Dallas Mavericks, he's going to try to get to his left hand every time. Nobody knew him better than Don Nelson. He gave me all the tools I needed to know about Dirk's game. I studied the tape every night. I watched tape all day, and I knew how to stop him. And because I stopped him all year, we played him 4 times that season and beat him almost every time. So I knew his game, and I was real confident coming into that series because Dirk doesn't like guys that guard him full court, that bump him, that make it real difficult for him. And I knew I was capable of doing that for the whole series.
And the size, like, because what are you, 6'5", 6'6"?
6'8". Come on, Mike.
Are
Give
you
me my 3
6'8"?
inches. I'm 6'8", 260 now.
Damn, I didn't know you were 6'8".
Yeah.
I know you cock diesel, but I was always like, damn, I didn't know you were 6'8". So, but even that, though, you're 6'8". Shit, I didn't know you were 6'8".
6'8".
God damn, I don't want to see you in the alley, man. 6'8".
Hey, Mike, I guarded Chris Bosh. I guarded Zebo. I guarded 2, 3, 4s, and 5s my whole career.
So I'm going to ask you about that. So when you're guarding guys that are 7 feet, 6'11", and Dirk is a long, tall, like, what is he listed at, 7?
Dirk, at least, I'll give him at least 6'11".
Yeah, and then some dudes like Kevin Garnett, like I met Kevin Garnett a few times. I'm like, yo, you're 7 feet, but there's a certain length. Like there's like, I don't know, maybe his torso's like, he just feels longer than 7 feet. When you're guarding a guy 6'11", is it spacing, is it speed, or is it depends on who that player is that you're trying to like to try to shut him down?
Well, those 7 footers, the best thing to do is you're stronger than them. Like most of them are straight up in the air. They all thin. So they can't back me down. They be real surprised when they can't back me down. They can't move me. And the thing is, too, they're tall. So a lot of times when you box out or go at their knees, they really back up. They shy away because they're real tall guys. I wasn't a dirty player, but I always knew a tall girl like that, in order to take the advantage of, you got to take away his knees and make him short and bring him down to your level. And that's what I always did against taller guys. I was stronger than them. I didn't let them back me down, didn't let them intimidate me, and I just tried to go at their knees because being tall was definitely a big advantage.
Now, going back to Don Nelson, why did you love him so much? What made him such a great coach, and what made him such a great coach for you and for that team? Like, what was his sort of disposition with the players at that point?
Well, I'm gonna give you 3 situations. One, he was one of my favorite coaches because not only is he the winningest coach in NBA history.
Wow.
He gave me one of the best compliments I've ever had after we beat Dallas in the first round.
Which was?
The media asked him what did he think about Stephen Jackson's performance, and Don Nelson's reply was, if I could create my team, I would like to have 5 Stephen Jacksons on the court at the same time always. I would like to always have 5. That meant the world coming from the winningest coach saying that he would like to have 5 Stephen Jacksons on the court at the same time. That meant the world to me. Second, he was just one of those down-to-earth coaches. This is a story that I tell a lot of people, help us understand my relationship with him. Beginning of the season, it was 2 days before the season starting, Don Nelson likes to play shuffleboard, and he likes to drink scotch. So he called me and Baron Davis to a bar not too far from where we lived in Alameda, and in Oakland, excuse me. And we met him there, and we not knowing how this gonna go. He has his friend Coach Riley with him, and he just sitting there like, guys, you guys are my captains. You guys gonna lead the team. I'm gonna let you guys be you. He always let us be us.
Right.
About 5 to 10 minutes later, it's like 2 bottles of scotch and a whole bunch of shot glasses. Now, remember what I said, our first game is 2 days away. We run through at least 2 or 3 bottles of Macallan 12, excuse me. And I've never drunk scotch before. So me and Baron was so wasted, and we ended up laughing all night, and he tell us all kind of stories when he played. That built a bond.
I got you.
With a guy that I never thought I'd be that, especially a coach. Right. That I'd be that coach with. And the third instance this is crazy. Nobody knows this story, so it's the first time somebody's hearing this story.
Give it to me.
We're in Utah, and the drug test people are around, to get our last drug test so we can smoke, right? And Don Nelson, we talked about weed all the time. He was cool with talking about weed. We got our last test in Utah, right? So me and Baron coming out the locker room just screaming, excited, right? With our last pink slip to saying that we could smoke for the rest of the season. And Don Nelson hauls ass down there giving us high fives like, yeah, we can smoke now. It was cool. It was cool. The fact that he knows what's going on off the court with his players, which was great, man. We enjoyed it. And that's why we were a great team.
That's dope. All right, well, you brought up the weed in the NBA. And I don't know, how it works, what the drug tests are, and I know you're not a snitch dude.
Right.
But based on what you would say, guesstimation, you could give alternate facts. You could give alternate Stephen Jackson facts. How prominent do you think marijuana smoking, and it's crazy because so many of these states, it's actually legal. Right. You're a young guy. You might be in a state like Colorado or Denver or Los Angeles where you could, it's literally like going to a 7-Eleven. I don't know anybody who's listening who's not from one of these states where it's legal. You have to understand the legalized states. It's literally like going to your friendly neighborhood deli.
Right. And 7-Eleven.
It's crazy. And they'll know your name. They're like, not that I go in there, not that I don't go in there. But if you go in there, they'll be like, Mr. Rogers, nice to see you. It's like your neighborhood. It's like Cheers.
Right,
it's like, how you doing? How's your kids? Oh, you got that new car? Did you get the loan on your house? It's like literally walking into Cheers.
Get that loan on your house? Now pick up that grape kush. That's a new.
Right, exactly. And a couple of these and a couple of those and throw me in a little something. But based on what you know and guesstimation, how prominent is marijuana in the NBA today?
Listen, man. One thing about basketball, there's no PEDs, no steroids. It's nothing like that. From my experience in the league, the players that I've been around, guys don't really even drink. Some guys do drink, some guys don't smoke. I think it's a higher percentage of guys that smoke than drink. I know coming, especially in my time, everybody smoked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after games, when I came in the league, it was only one drug test. And that was in the beginning of the season in training camp. You knew what it was called. You could smoke the rest of the season.
Wow.
That was the good days.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the good days. That's when they was calling the Portland the Trail Blazers.
Right.
When they had Rasheed, Grant, Bonzi, and all.
Right.
Yeah, it was real. It was real around that time. But you know, it's a lot of guys do it because that's the best way to relax. You take so much stuff to get up for the games, and guys don't like taking all that pills and stuff to heal. Go home, smoke your blunt, man. You sleep good.
Now, the thing I don't understand. Now, listen, I ain't a professional athlete, and honestly, you know, I smoke my weed. I wish I could be one of these people who could smoke all day and be productive. I can't.
Yeah,
but the thing that I don't get is that I do my little workouts and all that stuff, and I know when you guys are in the NBA, you're young, you're kids, you're 21, 22, so your body is different and all that stuff. But how could you be a high level athlete, play 82 minutes and 82 games, play these intense NBA games, and it doesn't mess with your cardio? That's the thing that I just don't get.
Right. Well, Mike, I can't speak for nobody else.
Right.
Me personally, I've done a lot of shit before a game sometimes and still was out there to go out and be productive. I just got to be real.
Right.
It's been a couple games where I smoked before games and had great games. It's been some games where I smoked before the game and was on the bench after 3 minutes sitting on the sideline trying, please calm down. This high has to calm down. I done shot 3 shots and then went over the backboard. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Just like, I got to calm down. But, guys do it. Some guys, some guys do it, but I think it's way more guys that do it because, it brings you down.
Right.
Guys don't want to be up and still be hyped once they get home. They want to calm down. And it has to be in your DNA, Mike. I've been, I started smoking at a young age,
right.
Mike, around 12, 13.
Right.
So, honestly, weed don't do nothing to me. I can go out and play all day and run all day still. My metabolism been high. So, it's more mental than anything.
I got you. So, you said about PEDs. Now, obviously, the different sports, baseball, football, track and field, blah, 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 blah. There's never been any big PED scandals in the NBA.
Right.
Okay? For me, I'm like, there's been rumors that this one and that, and,
right.
Going back to Michael Jordan and his body changes. From what you know, just on what you know, steroids, performance enhancement drugs, is that not a thing? Is it just not a cultural part of the NBA, or is is their testing just so weak and they don't want any part of finding out if it actually is a part of the NBA?
It's not a part of the NBA because I think if anybody was on PEDs, it would be easy to tell in the NBA. It'll be easy to tell. And listen, the NBA more worried about guys doing ecstasy and stuff like that. You got guys felling for more stuff like that nowadays.
Right.
O.J. Mayo, Birdman, they felling for real drugs.
Right.
Serious hardcore drugs. I don't think guys wouldn't do performance-enhancing drugs because you got to think, like you said earlier, a lot of these guys been playing with these guys their whole life. If you all of a sudden in the season at 220 and you come back 280, all muscle, running like a gazelle, somebody gonna know that you took something. And then now in the NBA, they do random PED testing in the summertime.
But not so they'll just and how does that work? Like a player, they'll just show up at your house. I'm from Nada or Vada, whatever it's from.
Yes.
Take a piss in a cup. They watch you piss, and that's it.
I've never had them come test me for PEDs, but they just randomly pick guys. I guess guys who come back from injuries fast, or they pick their guys out. They knew I wasn't on PEDs, so they never came to check me out.
All right, that makes sense. All right, we got a phone call.
Let's do it.
Who is it? All right, Jonathan, it's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. This is Michael Rapaport. You're in here with the captain, El Capitan, Steven Jackson. What do you got?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? First name Jonathan, last name Zuby, rhymes with duty.
Yes.
All right, rhymes with Doobie?
I worked for the Warriors when you were there during We Believe. That was off the chain. How do we get you back on this year's team so we can get you a ring?
Man, you know what, man? You got my hands sweating right now, man. That city is special to me, man. I don't know if you know, but Steve Kerr had called me, earlier this summer and asked me about coming to camp. It didn't happen.
Wow.
He even thought about bringing me in for a coaching job. He threw both of those things on the table and they didn't happen. I don't blame Steve. He's my guy. Him and Mike Brown are both my guys. man, I was trying to get back there this year to play our coach. You know, I think that's an organization that during my career that showed me a lot of love, a city that showed me a lot of love while I was playing. If any way possible I can get back and work for that organization, it's going to be a blessing, and hopefully one day it'll happen.
That's a good question. That's a good answer. You got any other questions for the captain?
Yeah, man. How hard could you take out LeBron? I mean, that fool's flopping all over the place like he don't weigh 280. What the hell? I
tell you this, man. I was able to guard him when I played. You know, when I was playing, I definitely can guard him now. But you know, he do that flopping on me. I'm gonna let it be known. I'm gonna tell him to his face, he'll hit pussy. You know, I ain't gonna bite my tongue. I've never bit my tongue from anybody. I'm not gonna bite it for LeBron. If he flopping on me, I'm gonna let him know. Say, man, you playing bitch ball, and that's not how we play.
Cap, let me ask you a question. Who's a player that you guarded that you were just like, I gotta tighten my shoes up tonight, just in terms of the competitiveness, the skill level, the talent? Like, if you had to say one, I know there's got to be a handful, but if you were just like, this is the one guy I don't want to have to guard in the 3-on-3 contest, or that you love to guard the most because they were just so good. Who is the guy like that you would go, it doesn't have to be the best player, but just for you, because certain matchups, certain skill sets, who would be one of the guys?
Well, it's three guys that I love playing against, and I competed against them. You know, one was Kobe, of course. He was so relentless, man. I love guarding Kobe because I had to work every play, and he was just hard to guard. He was relentless.
Explain. Is it his skill set? Was he just tenacious? Like, what was it? Like, give me specifics of it.
Okay, you know when you playing basketball and you're the best player on the team, you got the green light.
Right.
Okay, so just imagine being great as Kobe was with the lime green light. He can shoot anytime he want. He can do whatever on the court. So you have to be. Are you gonna get embarrassed? You know what I mean? And I definitely wasn't trying to get embarrassed, and I wanted to make him work as hard as I could because he's one of those guys you couldn't stop. You just had to make it difficult for him, trying to make him miss some shots that he'll normally make.
Right.
You know, Ron Artest was another one. You know,
explain Ron when you're going against him.
Well, for some reason, we both felt like we was the toughest guy in the NBA at all times. So when we played, it was more of wrestling. It was just me and him trying to fight. I'm talking about this was real prison basketball. When me and Ron Artest go against each other, both of us might end up with 2 quick fouls and, you know, and out the game early, we might foul out. Like, it's just wrestling. Like, we're not giving each other nothing.
And how strong, because they talk about Ron Artest's strength in his prime. Like, I think his brute strength is why he's still even in the league now.
Exactly. You know, we both got those tree stumps.
Right.
We got big calves. We got strong bases. So let's say it was like wrestling. It's like 2 linebackers trying to get a rebound.
Right.
You know, that never got a rebound in their life.
Right.
You know, it was like that. But, you know, one guy I got to give credit to, bro, that I love playing against him was Bonzi Wells.
Why?
Because not only was he one of the best post players that ever played in the NBA as a guard, but the way he competed. You know, every play down, we talking trash to each other. Like, the way he played the game is the way I like to play every night. I want to talk trash. I want to get into the heat of the game. He brought that out of me every time we played each other. Not only were we cool, but he brought it out of me because just having bragging rights. Right. You know, having bragging rights and loving the game. Just that passion for the game you can't teach. And a lot of guys in my era had it. And see, Mike, coming up now, they don't understand what the basketball has done for guys in my era. Like, a lot of us came up poor. A lot of people before us didn't get the opportunities we got. You know, so to be able to make it to the NBA and take care of my family and what the NBA has done to change my life, I love the guys that play it and willing to die for it, because I know it's a million people that would love that opportunity. Hey, it's a million people in jail. It's probably 100,000 people better in basketball than actually NBA players. They just never got the opportunity.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you know the best athletes in jail.
I hear you, man. And there is so many opportunities because, you know, it's you make the mistake. I mean, I knew guys growing up in New York City that were just as good as the best of the best, and they didn't either care, and it just came natural.
Alamo. It was a guy named Alamo. Rest in peace. He died. The Black Widow.
Yep.
He was awesome, a street ball player. I definitely think he could have played in the league. He was 6'8", had the handles of Steph Marbury, could shoot it all, but he never got the opportunity.
It's the I Am Rapaport podcast, and we'll be right back.
Introducing Play.it, a podcast network like no other. Home to top sports on-demand programming, including CBS sports experts and digital exclusives from dynamic personalities.
Hey, join me, Taz.
Holy Magic Man Malignaggi, two-time world champion.
Hey, it's Boomer and Carton.
Jim Rome. Doug Gottlieb, Phil Rosen here.
Let's pound the pavement and get some news.
Let's hand out some fantasy football advice.
Play.it is delivering storytelling at its best.
Giving you all the hot topics every week.
Hear what you've been missing at Play.it.
All right, Rigo.
Yo,
What's going on, brother?
Rigo, listen, you're here with the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. You're with the captain, El Capitan. What's the deal, Rigo?
I just want to know, can the Celtics win an NBA championship with Isaiah Thomas being their best player? Talk about 5'9" Isaiah Thomas.
No, not now. They're not good enough now. They can get DeMarcus Cousins or another big guy. I know they definitely upset with Al Horford. I don't know where he at. He probably isn't he Dominican? He probably Dominican Republic or at the Puerto Rican Day Parade or something because he hasn't been in the NBA all season. I don't know where he at. But I know they upset with Al Horford, but no way. I mean, Isaiah Thomas is great. He's one of the best in the game, all-star, but he's not enough to win no championship, Chief.
Did they trade for Carmelo?
I don't know if Melo's the answer. Obviously, Melo will make them better because they already compete with Cleveland. If you know Boston, the history of Boston, you know, they play well against Cleveland. And Melo will make them a better team and a better scoring team. So Melo would definitely make them better and make them compete with Cleveland for sure.
Yeah, but they'd have to give up. They'd have to give up something substantial.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to be, you know, they're not
Kelly
going to
Olynyk.
Yeah, and they're not going to gain. Yeah, right. And they're not going to gain anything defensively with Carmelo. And I'm a Carmelo fan. And Boston has a strong, like they have a rough crew, you know,
right.
like from top to bottom. Like those guys can beat. And I think they get the best out of what they have. But if they got Carmelo, I don't know. They're going to give up Avery Bradley.
Who's going to be the defensive stopper?
It ain't Carmelo.
He get crossed over in the phone booth.
Yeah.
So it ain't Melo.
Thank you for your call, Rigo or Rico.
Thank you.
Yo, Captain, is defense effort? Is it skill? Is it a little bit of both? How much of being a good defensive player is heart? How much of it is effort? What is the key to being a good defensive player?
Two things. You said them both. You have to want to play defense, and you have to have enough heart to want to go out there and do whatever it takes to stop your man. You know, a lot of guys don't care about defense. They only care about scoring. You know, you have to want to play defense, Mike. You know, Mutombo didn't become a good shot blocker just because he was tall in the paint.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that hung around the paint that was 7 foot, but he wanted to block shots. He wanted to be a great shot blocker because he couldn't score on the other end.
Right.
So the great defensive players take pride in stopping their man, take pride in playing defense, and have the heart to do it. And you can't teach that.
And also, what don't you think, like sort of in a way, a lack of ego, like not being afraid to – because I can't stand the Instagram culture and the Twitter culture of he got crossed over. This like, yo, you ain't crossing somebody over if they ain't playing defense. It's like, you know, now I feel like, you know, because you don't want to look bad on TV and growing up that way, you know, like I feel like in order to be a great defensive player, if you're guarding Kobe Bryant, he's going to bust your ass. Like it comes with the territory. It's Kobe Bryant. And you just got to keep going. I mean, don't you think that mentality, like you just have to be committed to the task, and the task isn't you're not always going to get the stops.
Hey, listen, I took pride in the defense. I've been crossed over. I'm on Allen Iverson mixtape, one of his mixtapes. I'm proud to be on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got crossed by Allen Iverson.
Hey, who gives a shit? It's going to happen.
But they don't show the other 15 times where either I stole a ball from him or I blocked the shot.
Right.
But it's a part of the game. You know, I'm a competitor. It happens. Now, if you play in the NBA, you're going to get crossed. You're going to get dunked on, even if you're not trying, because guys are that good.
Right.
But when you definitely playing defense and try to stop your man, things is going to happen. Good defensive players don't care about it because they understand guys are just that good.
I think it's so stupid. I mean, I get it, the ooh and the ah, but I just think at this point you're going to have young kids growing up who don't want to play actual defense, and they're going to play faux defense and let a guy go by so they don't get crossed up. And listen, who am I to talk? I'm a no-level player, but I just think it's hurting the game. And I think that, you know, defense and being a good defensive player, like the way you just articulated, also has to do with passing. You know, like I feel like being an unselfish player and being a person who likes passing has less to do with skill. Not that passing doesn't take skill.
Right.
Obviously, Magic Johnson, Steve Nash, Isaiah,
John Stockton.
These are the great. This is a skill set, but the unselfishness to be a willing passer,
right,
has less to do with skill set, or has as much to do with skill set as it does with mentality. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you because like that's just like being a point guard, a great point guard. Like, okay, you have Russell Westbrook, a scoring point guard that can rebound, is very athletic. Then you got a point guard like Chris Paul that's going to run the team, that's going to get everybody in their positions. So you got two different type of players these days. But most teams like point guards like Chris Paul, they're hard to find. They're hard to find the guys that can run the team. So times have changed, Mike. Times have changed. And like I said, guys don't really care about playing defense because, look, they're getting the money anyway.
Right. All right, we're going to take another call. Who we got?
Hey, man, this is Double A Ron in Chicago. How you doing, sir?
Chi-Town, Chirac, what's good?
What up, A-Ron?
Not much, man. And I actually kind of sick today. I've been laying out just seeing all this crazy stuff going on with the Bulls. And I was just sitting here thinking, man, that like the Bulls and the Knicks have become like one giant dysfunctional team now. Like it's crazy to see what's going on with these NBA cities. You know, I just wanted to ask you if you've ever seen anything like this where, you know, cities and teams with fan bases like this just they can't seem to get out of their own way. Like it's embarrassing to be a Bulls fan right now, you know.
Well, you know, I don't mean to cut you off, but I got a quick answer for you. You have to blame the people who run these organizations. Okay, let me say this for okay. The Bulls lose Derrick Rose. You go get Lopez. That don't add up.
Right.
Okay. The Knicks want to be a better team. They want to be a playoff team. They want to compete with Cleveland. You go get Lee. You go get Joakim Noah. You taking throwaways from other teams, hoping that they'll make your team better. You're not getting guys that you know going to come in and make your team better. It's going to make a difference right now. You're hoping on Lopez. You're hoping on Lee. The top of these organizations are definitely to blame because they put these teams together and they're expecting they're expecting these guys to come and just say, hey, we're going to win when they haven't been winners their whole career. It just don't work like that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I just, you know, these two great cities and these fan bases are sick right now. I mean, I know New York has been through it way more, but it's wild. And I think, you know, the way these guys are going at each other on social media and everything, it's not like it used to be. You know,
it wasn't social media. It wasn't social media a couple of years back. It's social media now. And, you know, a lot of guys don't know how to handle it. Hey, you seeing a lot of these guys that's sensitive, that got social media, they on here whining. I'm telling you.
They got that Ralph Tresvant. They got that sensitivity.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate the call. Captain, we're going to do one more call. Apparently, we got a LeBron call, which is one of my favorite topics.
Let's do it.
And then I'm going to let you go. Who we got? Yo, Sam, what's the deal? This is the
Sam I Am.
Sam I Am.
What's going on? Sam I Am, yo. All right, so here's the deal. I'm sick of this mid-season drama every single year where LeBron keeps on talking about he doesn't have enough talent, he doesn't like the owner, and he doesn't like the GM. It's enough already. It's like he's got everything he needs. He just will want a championship. Like, what does he have to complain about at this point?
You know what? As we said this earlier, one thing LeBron knows, when he speaks, everybody listens. Let's say that. Okay, let's say that first. He knows that. He knows everybody listens. And like Donnie Walsh, he calls all these guys bonus babies. When they don't get they want, they get to crying, I want this, I want that. And they have catered to LeBron. Every time he's said something, either the NBA or his team caters to him. Let's be real. So he understands when he speaks, they listen. Now, the fact that he complained about he need help in a playmaker, that's all BS. You just won a championship with this team. Now all of a sudden, Golden State got better. Now your team is not good enough. No. What y'all need to do is figure it out. You have the same team. I just think he's just whining. And everybody know, around this year, LeBron gets to subtweet and all this type of stuff. So this is nothing new to me. This is expected.
Steven, if you would say right now you're betting the house, who's winning the NBA championship, based right now on the fact that no big players are injured, and I always love it that way, Golden State.
By the way, you know, and I would even put San Antonio before Cleveland by the way San Antonio is playing right now and how Kawhi Leonard is playing right now. As you see, they went to Cleveland And Kawhi had 20 points in the fourth quarter, and they end up beating the Cleveland in overtime. So the way Golden State is above everybody and the way they beat Cleveland last time, I see Golden State winning it, but I see San Antonio right behind them.
So do you think, again, hoping everybody stays healthy, San Antonio has a chance to beat Golden State? Like, could they beat – I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah, but I think they can beat Golden State for the simple fact they got Gregg Poppovich.
Right. And they have – I mean, LaMarcus is a beast, and he's down there.
Paul Gasol, he'll be back. You know, I think Tony Parker's done, but they got another young kid that's coming along that's playing real well.
I like him.
And Patty Mills. So I think San Antonio is great. Like I said, the way Kawhi Leonard's playing in fourth quarters and averaging all these 30-point games he's having, I think they're on Golden State's ass for sure.
What last question, and we're done. Who we got? All right,
What's up, Jackson? Good name. I know you a gangster.
Action Jackson.
Yeah.
Hey, is this Steven Jackson?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm from Lake Charles, and I just wanted to ask you, what's the best dunk you ever seen in your life, up close in person?
Oh,
I know what it is.
Oh, probably. Well, go ahead and tell him, Mike.
I'm going to say what I think the best dunk is when B. Diddy banged it on Drago in Utah.
There it is, right there, man. That's the best dunk I've seen. A big guy on the 7-footer.
What's his name? The dude
in the playoffs,
on Utah?
Karolinko.
Hold on, Steven Jackson. You mean to tell me your brother didn't have a best dunk in Lake Charles?
Okay, Donnie. Let me say this.
Donnie Jackson, Steve.
Okay. This is my little brother on the phone, y'all.
You didn't know that before he started?
Nah, I couldn't tell, Mike. Hey, Mike, let me tell you about him, though, since he's on here, Mike. Okay. It's Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is like 45 minutes from my hometown, right? So we're playing this team, and they're talking crazy. It was a good rival game. I shoot a three. The ball bounces up, Mike. And the ball is basically at the top of the backboard. My brother jumps. One hand is at the tip of the backboard. The other hand is on the ball and grabs it and dunks it. Boom! Everybody runs around the gym. That's one of the best dunks I've ever seen in my life. That was crazy.
7-footer, Jack.
Yeah, over a 7-footer in the tournament. Now, see, this is why I don't have no hops. No, I don't have no hops because my mom gave them all to my little brother, okay? hey, Mike, but look, another note. His son was on the news last Saturday. He hit a three-pointer game winner at the buzzer in his basketball game.
In what, high school?
No. How does Day-Day snap?
Day-Day 8 years old.
Oh, my God.
From three for game winner.
It's genetic, man. You guys are blessed, man. Because, listen, I got brothers, I got a sister, I got cousins, nephews. We just don't have it, man. You guys got 8-year-olds hitting game winners, your little brothers dunking on 7-footers. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Y'all got me. What's up, Lito? What's up, my brother?
I'm watching on IG Live. I said, let me call and mess with him, see if you know me.
All right. Hey, Lito, this is Mike. Mike, this is my little brother, man. Hey,
How are you, my man? How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. All right, listen, Captain, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate this has been easy peasy, man. I could talk to you all day. I got like questions up the wazoo here that I didn't even get to because I got so much more to talk about. I appreciate you coming on doing this with me. This was insightful. It was dope. It was real. It was everything I could have imagined from having the one and only Captain Steven Jackson here on the I AM Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I appreciate it, Captain.
My pleasure, man. Anytime. Anything you need from me, I'm here to do that.
All right, my man.